Opening scene. The deep space salvage vessel Orpheus drifts toward its target, the SS Concordia, a long-lost colonial transport ship that vanished decades ago. The ship was presumed destroyed, yet here it is, floating silently in the void, its distress beacon suddenly active. On board the Orpheus, Captain Evans leads a small team of engineers and scientists. Jiro, a skilled but reckless engineer. Vasquez, a hardened mechanic with a military background. Lang, the ship's medical officer and xenobiology specialist. Their mission: assess the Concordia, recover any valuable technology, and determine what happened to the crew. Boarding the Concordia. The team enters through an airlock, their flashlights cutting through the ship's eerie darkness. Inside, everything is wrong. Walls are covered in an organic, sinewy substance, as if the ship is growing. The lights flicker erratically and life support is barely functioning. Lang takes a sample of the strange growths, noting that they're warm to the touch, pulsating like veins. The deeper they go, the more unnatural the ship feels. The logs on the bridge are corrupted, but one file plays, a garbled transmission from the ship's captain, warning. Do not open the hatch. Do not let it wake up. But the message cuts out before explaining further. The first disappearance. Jiro, inspecting the engine room, finds an unusual structure, something like a large membrane fused to the hull. As he examines it, a sudden movement within the wall makes him flinch. Startled, he backs away, but Vasquez, curious, pokes at the membrane with a welding tool. It ruptures, releasing a thick, sickly sweet gas. A sound echoes through the ship. A clicking, whispering voice. The lights cut out. When they flicker back, Vasquez is gone. Only his helmet remains, cracked and empty. The rest of the crew panics, calling for him over the radio, no response. The horrifying discovery. Lang rushes to the ship's medbay, desperate for answers. She manages to restore a corrupted log. The Concordia's crew had encountered a microscopic alien organism on a planetary survey. At first, it seemed harmless, but it spread, infecting the walls, the ship, the people. It didn't just kill them. It assimilated them, repurposing their bodies into something else. And worse, the Concordia wasn't drifting by accident. It had been sealed from the inside. The last survivors had tried to contain whatever was growing on board. Do not open the hatch. But it's too late. The awakening. Evans and Jiro hear something moving in the vents. Then, Vasquez's voice, calling for help. But when they turn a corner, they find Vasquez standing there wrong. His skin is too smooth, his eyes glassy, his mouth twitching in a silent, unnatural smile. We're waking up, he whispers. His body splits open. A shifting, tendril-like mass emerges, reshaping itself as it lunges at them. Jiro screams as something bursts from the walls, pulling him into the darkness. Lang and Evans run, sealing the doors behind them. The ship groans, something massive moving within the walls. The escape. Evans and Lang sprint to the airlock, desperate to return to the Orpheus. But as they prepare to undock, Lang hesitates. Her arm is trembling. The veins beneath her skin are moving. She looks at Evans, her voice barely a whisper. It's inside me. Before Evans can react, Lang slams the airlock controls, ejecting herself into space, choosing death over transformation. Final twist. Evans barely escapes, piloting the Orpheus away as the Concordia begins to break apart. The distress beacon finally cuts out. Relieved, she slumps in her seat, breathing heavily. The nightmare is over. Then, static crackles over the ship's radio. A new distress signal. From the Orpheus. Evans looks up in horror as a single drop of black fluid falls from the ceiling onto her hand. Cut to black.